We'll go straight into the AU-EU story and discussion. So in a press release issued on April 30, the AU and EU Youth Voices Lab announced both new initiatives aimed at bridging the gap between young leaders in Africa and Europe, as youth across the continent continue to push for greater inclusion in policy making and innovation. Among the initiatives unveiled are a multi-language, low-data digital app co-created with input from over 10,000 youth and a grant scheme designed to support youth-led projects. The lab has also established a youth advisory board, launching training programs and introduced the Let's Connect cross-continental network, all aimed at fostering stronger collaboration, empowerment, and representation for young people across the continent. And joining me online to have these discussions are Silvia, Diazzi, Stefanos, Stagakis, and then Peace Yinjesu Odili. Silvia is Silvia leads the program's communication and visibility strategy, and she coordinates dissemination across partners, supports digital campaigns, and ensures outreach for the Youth Voices Lab app. Stefanos develops creative strategies to engage youth across Africa and Europe. He leads impactful campaigns that highlight youth voices and promote cross-continental collaborations. And then Peace oversees the development of the Youth Voices Lab app, and she ensures the platform is inclusive, accessible, and aligned with the needs of young people. All right, so these are my guests who are joining us online to do this interview about the AU-EU Youth Voices Lab. Can you hear me? Silvia, Stefanos, and Peace, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes, I
can.
can
Good
hear
morning.
you.
Hi.
Hello, can you hear me? Silvia?
Hello, can you hear me?
Sorry, can you speak up a little bit for me? Your voice is a bit low.
Yes. Yes, I'm connected. Do you hear me? Do you see me?
All right, Sylvie, if you can hear me, you're welcome to the Hello Africa morning show. And you are live in Accra, Ghana, and everybody in Africa is watching you. So let's talk briefly about the core mission of the AU-EU Youth Voices Lab, and how does it seek to transform youth engagement in Africa and in Europe?
Yes, thank you very much. First of all, to all of your team. It's a pleasure for us to be here and presenting our program and our organization. So the AU-EU Youth Voices Lab, Power of the Collective, is a 4-year program. It is co-funded by the European Union, and it's also done in collaboration with the African Union. It is part of the AU-EU Youth Lab program as a whole. It's an umbrella, program umbrella, and we also have a sister program called Youth Action Lab. This AU-EU Youth Voices Lab, part of the collective, is implemented by a consortium of 5 international partners: Oxfam International, Restless Development, Search for Common Ground, ComDev Africa, and Youthmakers Hub. Today, with Stefanos and Peace and me, we are representing Youthmakers Hub. It's the communication and dissemination lead into the program. And to give you a few more information about us, we are a non-profit organization based in Greece. We are empowering youth and communities through capacity building, EU-funded programs, and international cooperation. We're specialized in training, communication, and strategic outreach, bridging African and European youth through education, digital innovation, and cross-continental partnerships. Our aim is to create inclusive opportunities for youth to lead, learn, and thrive, building a generation of change makers equipped to shape a more just and sustainable world. As part of the EU Youth Voices Lab Power of the Collective program, together with our partners, we have the mission to co-create a more youth-responsive and inclusive society across Africa and Europe, where young people are equal partners in shaping decisions and policies that impact their lives. So our program impacts and empowers young people aged from 15 to 35, and we aim to engage them in policymaking, advocacy, institutional dialogues through different activities and opportunities. On one side, we work together with the youth to empower them and to give them skills, tools, and also a safeguarding environment to make sure they're able to advocate for their rights and for their needs in their local communities, but also at regional, international, and intercontinental level. On the other side, we work together with decision makers with the institutional journey that is parallel to the youth journey, in making sure that decision-making processes are more youth inclusive and that we create a space in which young people and decision makers can meet, they can discuss and find common solutions. One of the key words for our program is co-creation and empowerment. In fact, we really aim at shifting the power to youth, ensuring that they're not just passive beneficiaries of decisions or policies, but that they're active members and creators with their voices of these processes and the policies. Some of the mechanisms, which we will also see together, are multilingual inclusive mobile application, which is currently under development, and Peace will tell you more about it. We have funding opportunities. And we also have a large pool of activities and opportunities, both online and in person, that young people can attend and they can participate. Thank you very much.
Mentioned funding. So let's talk a bit about the funding. What does the third funding party mechanism aim to achieve? And do you have more opportunities for funding coming in for this project?
Yes, thank you. The third-party funding mechanism is one of the key activities of the program. It has actually just closed the first round of application at the beginning of this year, but 2 more rounds of application will open. Generally, they open in the first trimester. So next year, keep posted on our social media, on our newsletter to receive the notification when the applications for funding are open. Not only the Youth Voices Lab has funding, but also the Youth Action Lab has funding for projects that are related to young people. So make sure to stay connected with the program as a whole for greater funding opportunities. To let you know, it is a mechanism that provides, in the case of the Youth Voices Lab, funding and macro grants from 1,000 to 10,000 euros, aim at supporting local inspired advocacy, research, training, and accountability action. So it's projects that are made by youth for the youth. The mechanism strengthens youth civil society, and it ensures that young people lead solutions addressing their own priorities. So the key aspect is that young people find what is a challenge, what is a solution. They unify, they gather together into creating a project. And then through the funding, they will be able to implement the actions of their plan, and also with the support of the program and the consortium and the other projects, they will be able to have a real impact in their communities. Just to give you more information, the grantees are selected through an open call. I have mentioned it earlier. So the call for application includes 14 African countries, which are what we call intervention countries. You can find more details on the website of which are these countries that are available for funding. And also the focus of the projects that will be selected are definitely areas similar to inclusion, safeguarding, and ethical advocacy. In the last round, so in the first round of application, we received over 470 applications from all over the continent. These 14 countries that are eligible, and the selection process is right now ongoing, and we will be announcing the grantees in the next few months, and we will communicate which projects are selected. So this is about the third-party funding mechanism. So there are 14 eligible countries in the African continent and one more in Europe. It's Belgium, that represents the young African diaspora members that want to also implement projects in there. Right now we are at the second year of implementation, so there will be 2 more rounds of application for the funding, and usually they are at the beginning of in the first trimester of each year. So stay connected for more.
Okay, so I was trying to ask something before you continue. So you just said that it's open to 15 African countries. What I want to know is, do you have plans to open this beyond 15 African countries so that other African countries can be a part of this?
I would suggest to stay connected also online. We are part of the larger program, as I mentioned, the EU Youth Lab. So in there are actually more countries. There are other countries. So I would suggest to stay tuned to keep up with the news in case more countries are open for these applications.
So let's quickly talk about the Youth Advisory Board. How do you ensure that the programs remain youth-led and they are still relevant?
Yes, the Youth Advisory Board has members that represent the different macro regions in the African continent. They have already been selected, and they are individuals that are an actual and constant part and organ of the program. So they are our accountability board. They are young representatives and young leaders of their own communities, and they are actually giving feedback on the activities that partners are implementing within the framework of the program. In this way, we make sure to always include the voices of young people represented by the Youth Advisory Board members. They really play a key role into our decision-making processes for different activities, and also in co-creating the mobile application that we are developing, and in the evaluation of the grantees for the third-party funding mechanism. They are trained, they are a full part of the consortium and of the decision-making processes of the program.
Okay, that's nice, beautiful. So let me talk to you now, Stefanos. Tell me something. Where can young people find more information about this program?
Thank you. So we are all over internet. We have our official program website, which is the AU EU YouthVoicesLab.eu, and then we are on all social media platforms, which we consider as our digital community. So you can find us on Facebook, on X, on Instagram, on TikTok, YouTube, and of course LinkedIn. Especially for LinkedIn, I'd like to mention that we also have we also have our LinkedIn newsletter, which is an exclusive series of content where we give insights and valuable information on our recent activities. And we also have a WhatsApp channel in which we send very important program-related updates, but also opportunities updates directly to your phone as a message. And then, of course, we have our own newsletter where people can again receive very critical updates directly in their email inbox. So you can find us basically everywhere.
Okay. That's nice to know. I mean, it's a young generation lately, and so I believe that young people will be able to access all the platforms that you have mentioned. So again, how can young people or youth-led organizations get involved, especially through the Let's Connect initiative?
Yes, of course. So we have a lot of opportunities for a young person or a youth-led organization to get involved. We have basically we separate opportunities into two categories: the ones that are on site and the ones that are online. So either on site, people can get involved with the support of our implementing partners on the ground. They can apply for training, they can apply for funding, as Silvia mentioned earlier as well. And then they can also get involved online through our digital community. Basically, the digital community is more than just social media. It's consider this as a place where we exchange insights and experience, not just program related, but also general. We share opportunities for event, for funding, for learning experiences. We also have motivational content, motivational campaigns to give young people their weekly boost, and of course we give regular updates on the program activities themselves. In any case, so people have a lot of opportunities to engage. What we always encourage them is, because there are there is a lot of content and there are a lot of things that are happening at the same time. We encourage people to stay connected. We have tailor-made campaign for each different platform. So especially for young people that are directly involved in this program, it's easier for them to keep up in the different platforms. Let me go a little bit into the details of the Let's Connect initiative. Basically, we designed this to foster networking and collaboration among youth and youth-led organizations across Africa and Europe. Through this, we invite organizations to join our network by completing a very simple form. It takes no more than 5 minutes to do it. And what it does is that it identifies and connects youth-led advisory boards, panels, network, coalitions. We call them organizations in general. And we aim to enhance collaboration and amplify youth voices in policymaking, basically through this network. So organizations that are interested in this opportunity, they can find the link in our website and our social media. But if they do not find it, we are always one email or one message away. So we try to be as open as we can so that we facilitate all this process and create the biggest network possible.
That's really nice to hear. It seems like a very seamless way to be able to get in touch with this initiative. So please let me talk to you. Finally, you're responsible for the app, so you're more like a technical person. So how will the AU-EU Youth Voices Lab app serve as a tool for African youth, especially in terms of international co-creation, like was mentioned earlier, training and then networking?
Thank you very much for the question. And yes, I'm the mobile app projects manager. So, three things that I would like to talk about as regards the app is to describe the app from three focus areas, which is empowerment, networking, and an opportunity desk. So, the app is designed to be a youth-friendly, inclusive, low data platform that brings opportunities directly to young people. For empowerment, it gives access to free training with the inclusion of certification, toolkits, event updates, and digital resources in multiple languages. Yes, multiple languages, you heard correctly. For networking, through the Let's Connect network that my colleague Stefanos just described, users are able to engage with peers, with mentors, and youth-led organizations across Europe and in Africa. And then the app also promotes on that networking as well. It also promotes and gives you an opportunity where you are able to access advocacy and digital platforms, right? For you to be able to talk to every other young person out there, gives visibility and credibility to all young persons, youth-led organizations as well. And then for the opportunities desk, you have access to be able to go to your organization, you have access to join other young persons in aligned areas, to be able to not only promote your organization, like I said, but also to be able to connect with other persons regardless of their location, to be able to co-create, joining 10,000 other young persons to co-create and develop the app, as well as updating the app. I think it's mostly important and significant that you can sit with other young people to brainstorm around innovation, advocacy, experiential learning, especially because, persons in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Europe, you can share how you've been able to solve problems. I think one last thing that I would also would want to mention about the app, aside the fact that it has access to opportunities in multiple languages, it's also that it allows for to be able to have specific profiles, right, where everybody around and anyone who has access to the app would be able to not only get funding, but also sit with other young persons to be able to ensure that you have materials that you can use to grow yourself, and then you can become global change makers. Thank you. Can you hear me?
So the final question here. So how does the platform help African youth position themselves better on the international scene in terms of leadership, innovation, and advocacy?
Thank you again for the question. Aside providing visibility and amplifying youth-led initiatives, there's also the possibility you are able to, feature your personalized generated content, success stories, advocacy action, and a platform to empower young persons to shape narratives and influencing change. And then through the learning process, the networking, the funding opportunities, young people are able to build credible organizations, partnerships, and leadership presence across the globe. I think another thing that I would also like to say is it offers young people an opportunity to be seen, to be heard, and connected, right? Driving inclusive progress across continents, and also ensuring that there are continued conversations, and not just conversations that happen in silos clusters in different countries, but then these conversations are brought on the global stage, and then amplifying that network on a continental and international level.
This is just beautiful to listen to when it comes to initiatives like this that benefit the people of Africa. So I want to say a big thank you to you, Silvia, Stefanos, and Peace for joining us. Silvia, I'll give you the final words. Any final words before we end the session, please?
The whole consortium of the AU Youth Voices Collective. We are very happy to give to share this opportunity with your network. So make sure you are connected with us on social media. You subscribe to the newsletter in order to receive all the notification of the opportunities. And we are really motivated to engage, empower, connect with all the young people that are out there, and they want to create a change. So we are here to support you, and we are happy to be on this journey together. Thanks again to your team for giving us this space, and to my colleagues.
Thank you so much also for making time to be with us, Silvia, Diazzi, Stefanos, Stagakis. so much for joining us on the Hello Africa Morning Show. We'll be following your story, and then I'm sure that in our subsequent editions, we'll come up with some other discussions. And we wish you well on this journey.